Rowan Atkinson is a name that needs no introduction. Whether it's the unforgettable Mr. Bean, the cunning Edmund Blackadder, or the hilariously incompetent Johnny English, his impact on the world of comedy is undeniable. But behind the laughter and iconic performances is a man with a fascinating life story, one that started in a quiet, disciplined household and took him all the way to international superstardom. How did a reserved, introverted child from County Durham become one of the most recognized comedians of all time? Today we're diving deep into the life, career, and personal journey of Rowan Atkinson. Childhood and family. Rowan Sebastian Atkinson was born into a middle-class family in Consett, County Durham, England, on January 6, 1955. His parents, Eric Atkinson and Ella May, née Bambridge, provided a structured and disciplined upbringing for their children. His father, Eric Atkinson, was a farmer and company director, which suggests that the family was relatively well off compared to many in post-war Britain. As a farmer, Eric likely instilled in his children the values of hard work, responsibility, and discipline. Meanwhile, as a company director, he was involved in the business world, managing operations and making important financial decisions. This dual role may have contributed to Rowan Atkinson's own disciplined approach to his craft later in life, particularly in his meticulous attention to detail in comedic performance. His mother, Ella May, was a homemaker, a common role for women in mid-20th century Britain. As the primary caregiver, she would have played a key role in shaping Rowan's early life. Many comedians develop their sense of humor as a coping mechanism or as a way to stand out in a household, and it is possible that Rowan's comedic instincts were first encouraged or at least tolerated within the family dynamic. However, he was known to be a quiet and reserved child, which may suggest that he found other ways, such as observational humor and physical comedy, to express himself. Rowan was the youngest of 4 brothers, which often comes with certain family dynamics. Being the youngest sibling can sometimes mean having to compete for attention, and in many cases, younger children develop humor as a tool for social bonding within the family. His eldest brother, Paul Atkinson, tragically passed away during childhood. Although little information is available about Paul, losing a sibling at a young age can have a profound emotional impact on a family. It may have contributed to the way the Atkinson household functioned, possibly fostering a more protective or disciplined environment for the remaining children. His second brother, Rodney Atkinson, took a very different career path compared to Rowan. Rodney became an economist, political commentator, and a strong Eurosceptic. He was active in British politics and even came close to leading the UK Independence Party, UKIP, in 2000. This shows that intelligence and analytical thinking were highly valued in the Atkinson family. Rodney's strong political views and career in economics contrast sharply with Rowan's world of entertainment and comedy, highlighting the diverse interests within the Atkinson family. The youngest of Rowan's older brothers, Rupert Atkinson, has remained out of the public eye. Unlike Rodney, Rupert has not sought political influence, nor has he entered the entertainment industry like Rowan. This suggests that, while the Atkinson household produced individuals with diverse talents and career paths, not all of them felt the need to seek public recognition. As a child, Rowan Atkinson was known for being quiet and introverted. He attended Durham Choristers School, a prestigious preparatory school where he was classmates with future British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Later, he continued his education at St. Bees School, a boarding school in Cumbria. Despite his natural comedic talent, Atkinson initially pursued a career in science and engineering. After finishing school, he enrolled at Newcastle University to study electrical engineering. He then continued his education at the Queen's College, Oxford, where he earned a master's degree in electrical engineering, following in the footsteps of his father, who had also studied there. During his time at Oxford University, Rowan Atkinson experienced a major turning point in his life. Although he was pursuing a master's degree in electrical engineering at the Queen's College, his true passion for acting and comedy began to emerge. Unlike many comedians who start their careers with formal drama training, Atkinson's path into the entertainment world was more unconventional. While at Oxford, he joined the Oxford University Dramatic Society, OUDS, one of the most prestigious student theater groups in the UK. It was here that he first started performing comedic sketches and monologues, gradually refining his craft. Instead of relying heavily on dialogue, Atkinson developed a style that emphasized physical comedy, exaggerated facial expressions, and impeccable timing, traits that would later become defining characteristics of his performances. His ability to convey complex emotions and humor with minimal words set him apart from other aspiring comedians of his time. During this period, he also performed in various student theater productions and comedy revues. One of the key moments in his early career was his performance at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, one of the most significant art and comedy festivals in the world. The festival provided Atkinson with a platform to showcase his talent beyond the university stage, gaining recognition from both audiences and industry professionals. His performances there demonstrated a rare combination of intelligence, precision, and physical humor, which impressed critics and fellow performers alike. Another breakthrough came when he worked on The Atkinson People, a BBC Radio 3 comedy series where he played multiple characters. This project highlighted his versatility and ability to create distinct comedic personalities, reinforcing his status as a rising star in the British comedy scene. His work on radio also allowed him to experiment with different vocal techniques and comedic pacing, further shaping his unique style. It was during this period that Atkinson started conceptualizing the character that would later become Mr. Bean. Inspired by silent film legends like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, he focused on visual storytelling and exaggerated body language, making his humor accessible to audiences regardless of language or culture. His early comedic experiments at Oxford laid the groundwork for his future success, proving that even without words, he could make audiences laugh purely through expression and movement. Atkinson's talent did not go unnoticed. His performances attracted the attention of industry professionals, leading to opportunities in television and stage productions. This period at Oxford was instrumental in shaping his career, transforming him from an engineering student into a trailblazing comedian whose influence would extend far beyond the university stage. Career Rowan Atkinson's rise in the entertainment industry was a gradual but well-earned journey through some of Britain's most influential comedy programs. His ability to blend sharp satire, impeccable comedic timing, and distinct physical humor helped him carve out a unique space in British television. The early 1980s proved to be a turning point in his career, as he gained widespread recognition through the groundbreaking BBC sketch show Not the 9 O'Clock News, which ran from 1979 to 1982. This satirical sketch show was revolutionary for its time, pushing the boundaries of British television comedy with bold political satire, witty observational humor, and absurdist sketches. Unlike traditional British comedy, which often relied on predictable punchlines and slapstick humor, Not the 9 O'Clock News was fast-paced and unafraid to challenge authority, social norms, and current events. Atkinson's role in the show allowed him to display his full comedic range. His ability to deliver sharp, sarcastic lines with perfect precision made him stand out among his fellow cast members, which included Griff Rhys-Jones, Mel Smith, and Pamela Stevenson. While all of them would go on to have successful careers, Atkinson's unique comedic style, expressive face, and remarkable physical control made him an undeniable standout. The show became a cultural phenomenon, influencing future British comedy and inspiring a new wave of satirical television. Atkinson, through this experience, refined his comedic instincts and established himself as a leading figure in British humor, proving that he could excel in both verbal and physical comedy. Following the success of Not the 9 O'Clock News, Atkinson transitioned from sketch comedy to scripted sitcoms, taking on the lead role in Blackadder, which aired from 1983 to 1989. This series became one of the most iconic British sitcoms of all time, demonstrating Atkinson's versatility as a comedian and actor. Unlike the near-silent and childlike Mr. Bean, the Blackadder character was intelligent, cynical, and bitingly sarcastic. Atkinson played different incarnations of Edmund Blackadder across different historical periods in each season, ranging from a medieval prince in the Blackadder to a World War I officer in Blackadder Goes Forth. The character was known for his razor-sharp wit, elaborate wordplay, and cunning personality, making him one of British television's most memorable anti-heroes. The series was co-written by Richard Curtis and Ben Elton, both of whom played instrumental roles in shaping Atkinson's career. Curtis, who had previously worked with Atkinson on Not the 9 O'Clock News, would later collaborate with him on Mr. Bean and various other projects. Ben Elton, known for his satirical writing style, helped craft the show's hilarious yet intelligent dialogue, filled with biting sarcasm and historical references. One of the key strengths of Blackadder was its ensemble cast and strong character dynamics. Atkinson's on-screen chemistry with Tony Robinson, who played the dim-witted yet lovable Baldric, became one of the show's defining elements. The Blackadder-Baldric dynamic, where Blackadder constantly insults his foolish yet loyal servant, became one of the most iconic comedic relationships in British television history. By 1990, Rowan Atkinson had already built a solid reputation in British comedy, but it was the creation of Mr. Bean that transformed him into an international superstar. Unlike his previous roles, which often relied on sharp dialogue and witty banter, Mr. Bean was almost entirely a visual comedy experience, inspired by the traditions of silent film legends like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. The first episode of Mr. Bean aired on January 1st, 1990, introducing audiences to an eccentric, socially awkward, childlike man who struggled to navigate everyday situations in the most absurd, exaggerated, and unpredictable ways. What set Mr. Bean apart from other sitcoms of its time was its universal appeal. Because the show had minimal dialogue, it was easily understood across different cultures and languages, making it a global phenomenon. This unique format allowed Atkinson to reach audiences far beyond the English-speaking world, cementing Mr. Bean as an internationally beloved character. The show's success extended well beyond television. The Mr. Bean franchise expanded into 2 feature films, starting with Bean, the ultimate disaster movie in 1997, and followed by Mr. Bean's Holiday in 2007. Both films performed exceptionally well at the box office, proving that Mr. Bean's silent physical comedy could carry a full-length film just as effectively as a short TV episode. The franchise later extended into an animated series, which introduced Mr. Bean to a new generation of young audiences, as well as video games, books, and a vast range of merchandise. Over time, Mr. Bean became a cultural icon with Atkinson's distinctive facial expressions, body language, and comedic timing making the character instantly recognizable around the world. Beyond Mr. Bean, Atkinson further solidified his place in comedic cinema with the Johnny English film series. The character of Johnny English, a well-meaning but utterly incompetent spy, was originally introduced in a series of Barclaycard credit card commercials in the 1990s. The popularity of the character led to the development of the first feature film, Johnny English, in 2003, which was an instant box office success. The film was later followed by two sequels, Johnny English Reborn in 2011 and Johnny English Strikes Again in 2018. Unlike Mr. Bean, Johnny English relied more on dialogue-driven humor, but Atkinson still incorporated his signature slapstick comedy and physical gags, making the character both ridiculous and endearing. The Johnny English franchise satirized the James Bond films, turning the spy genre into a comedic spectacle, with Atkinson playing a deluded yet oddly charming secret agent who always managed to succeed through sheer luck rather than skill. However, Atkinson's journey to making Mr. Bean a success was far from easy. When he first proposed the concept, many producers and network executives were skeptical about whether a show with almost no dialogue could succeed in an era when sitcoms were heavily reliant on witty exchanges and verbal punchlines. Some feared that audiences would struggle to connect with a character who barely spoke, while others doubted that a silent physical comedy format could be sustainable in the long run. Despite these concerns, Atkinson remained firmly confident in his vision. Drawing inspiration from classic silent film comedians, he meticulously refined every aspect of the character, paying extreme attention to movement, facial expressions, and comedic timing. His determination proved invaluable. What initially seemed like a risky, unconventional idea went on to become one of the most iconic and enduring comedy series of all time, Marriage and Scandal. Rowan Atkinson's personal life, particularly his marriage and post-divorce relationship, has been an ongoing subject of media interest. Atkinson met Sunitra Sastry in the 1980s when she was working as a makeup artist for the BBC, specifically on the set of Blackadder. Sastry, of Indian-British descent, had a career in television production, working behind the scenes to help create the polished, on-screen appearances of actors. Their professional relationship soon turned romantic, and they got married in February 1990. Throughout their marriage, Atkinson and Sastry were known for keeping their personal lives away from the media spotlight. Unlike many celebrity couples who frequently attend public events together, Atkinson rarely made appearances with his wife at industry gatherings or award shows. The couple had two children, Ben and Lily Atkinson, and Atkinson was widely seen as a devoted family man. However, despite their long marriage, very little was known about their day-to-day lives, routines, or potential conflicts, making their eventual separation in 2014 all the more shocking to fans and the press alike. Atkinson's divorce from Sunitra Sastry after 24 years of marriage came as a surprise to many. While the exact reasons behind the split were never publicly disclosed, reports from sources close to the couple suggested that differences in lifestyle and work-related stress played a significant role. Given Atkinson's demanding career in the entertainment industry, it is possible that his heavy workload and frequent professional commitments caused strain in their relationship over time. However, what truly fueled controversy was how quickly Atkinson entered into a new relationship with comedian Louise Ford, who was more than 25 years younger than him. The speed at which Atkinson moved on led to speculation that his romance with Ford may have begun before his marriage officially ended. Some tabloids suggested that the two had already formed a close bond while performing together in 2013, raising questions about whether the relationship had been developing behind the scenes before his split from Sastry. Neither Atkinson nor Sastry publicly addressed these rumors, but the perception of a rapid transition caused a stir among fans and the media. Louise Ford, an actress and comedian, was making a name for herself in British television and theater when she met Atkinson. She was best known for her portrayal of Kate Middleton in the satirical series The Windsors, a comedy that parodied the British royal family. The two reportedly first crossed paths in 2013 while performing in Quatermain's Terms, a West End play staged at Wyndham's Theatre in London. At the time, Ford was relatively less famous than Atkinson, but her sharp comedic skills and charismatic stage presence caught attention. Their significant age gap quickly became a talking point in the media. Atkinson was nearly 60 years old, while Ford was in her early 30s. While celebrity relationships with large age differences are not uncommon, the timing and context of this particular romance fueled speculation. Some media outlets criticized Atkinson for moving on too quickly, while others framed the relationship as a natural new chapter in his life. One of the most notable reactions to Atkinson's new relationship came from his daughter, Lily Atkinson. Shortly after her parents' divorce, Lily, who had previously used the surname Atkinson, changed her last name to Sastry, taking her mother's maiden name instead. This decision sparked rumors that Lily may have distanced herself from her father following his split from her mother. While neither Atkinson nor Lily has ever spoken publicly about the change, many speculated that it was a symbolic move, reflecting her loyalty to Sunetra Sastry. Before the divorce, Lily had been actively pursuing a career in entertainment, occasionally appearing alongside her father at industry events. She had even performed in cabaret shows and explored opportunities in acting. However, after the name change, she appeared to step away from the spotlight, further fueling speculation that she wished to separate herself from her father's public image. Despite the initial media frenzy surrounding their relationship, Atkinson and Ford moved in together in 2016, signaling their long-term commitment to one another. A year later, in December 2017, they welcomed a daughter, Ixla, marking a new chapter in Atkinson's personal life. While the public and media were initially critical of Atkinson's rapid transition from a long-term marriage to a much younger partner, over time, the controversy faded. Atkinson, known for his preference for privacy, has never openly discussed the details of his relationships in interviews, and as the years have passed, the public's fascination with the situation has largely diminished. Other relationships. Throughout his career, Rowan Atkinson has built lasting professional relationships with some of the most respected figures in British entertainment. Many of his longtime collaborators and colleagues have praised his exceptional comedic instincts, work ethic, and dedication to his craft, solidifying his reputation not just as a talented performer, but also as a highly respected figure in the industry. Among those who have worked closely with Atkinson, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, Ben Miller, and Richard Curtis have all expressed admiration for his work. Stephen Fry, a celebrated comedian, writer, and actor, first collaborated with Atkinson in the 1980s on Blackadder, where Fry played various supporting roles across different seasons. Fry has often spoken about Atkinson's incredible precision as a comedian, noting that he possesses an almost scientific approach to comedy, meticulously analyzing every movement and expression to achieve the perfect comedic effect. Similarly, Hugh Laurie, who played the dim-witted yet lovable Prince George in Blackadder III and later Lieutenant George in Blackadder Goes Forth, has also praised Atkinson's ability to balance intellectual and physical comedy effortlessly. Laurie, who later gained international fame for his dramatic role in House, has credited Atkinson as one of the most gifted comedians he has ever worked with. Their on-screen chemistry in Blackadder contributed to some of the most memorable comedic exchanges in British television history. Ben Miller, known for his work in The Armstrong and Miller Show and as Bow in the Johnny English films, has frequently expressed admiration for Atkinson's creative process. Working alongside Atkinson in the Johnny English series, Miller witnessed firsthand his commitment to refining comedic timing and physical humor. According to Miller, Atkinson's methodical approach to comedy sets him apart. Every gesture, pause, and facial expression is carefully thought out, yet it appears effortless on screen. Perhaps one of Atkinson's most significant creative partnerships has been with Richard Curtis, a writer, director, and producer who co-created Blackadder and played a crucial role in the success of Mr. Bean. Curtis has described Atkinson as a comedic genius, emphasizing his ability to transform even the simplest situations into moments of pure hilarity. Their collaboration, which spanned decades, resulted in some of the most iconic British comedy productions, including Not the 9 O'Clock News, Blackadder, and Mr. Bean. Atkinson's influence extends beyond just those he worked with regularly. He has also earned the admiration of industry veterans and legendary comedians. Terry Jones, a member of the iconic comedy group Monty Python, once described Atkinson as one of the few modern comedians who truly understands the art of physical comedy. Given Monty Python's own emphasis on absurd humor and slapstick elements, this endorsement from Jones highlights Atkinson's ability to carry on the tradition of classic British comedy while making it uniquely his own. Another surprising admirer of Atkinson's work is Simon Cowell, the well-known television producer and talent judge famous for his sharp critiques on shows like Britain's Got Talent and The X Factor. Cowell has openly praised Atkinson for his extraordinary ability to captivate audiences without even needing dialogue, a skill that very few performers can master. Cowell's acknowledgement further underscores Atkinson's widespread appeal, not just as a comedian, but as an entertainment icon with global influence. Health issues and later years. In recent years, Rowan Atkinson's health has become a growing concern, with reports indicating that he has been battling a heart rhythm disorder. This condition, which affects the regularity of his heartbeat, has required him to modify his lifestyle and reduce his professional commitments. Given his long career in the entertainment industry, where he has often performed physically demanding comedic roles, this diagnosis likely forced him to reassess his priorities and focus more on his well-being and personal life. One of the most significant turning points in Atkinson's life occurred in 2011, when he survived a serious car accident while driving his McLaren F1, an extremely rare and valuable supercar. Known for his passion for high-performance vehicles, Atkinson had owned the McLaren for over a decade before the incident. The crash happened on August 4th, 2011, when he lost control of the car near Peterborough, England. The vehicle spun off the road, crashed into a tree and a lamppost, then burst into flames. Despite the severity of the accident, Atkinson managed to escape from the burning car before emergency responders arrived. Although he survived the crash, Atkinson suffered a serious shoulder injury, requiring extensive medical treatment and rehabilitation. His physical recovery took several months, but the psychological impact of such a near-death experience was profound. He later admitted that the accident changed his outlook on life, making him more aware of the fragility of existence and prompting him to reconsider the pace at which he had been living and working. Following this traumatic event, Atkinson gradually began to withdraw from public life. He limited his media appearances, took on fewer high-profile projects, and shifted his focus toward personal health and family. While he did not completely retire from acting, he became far more selective about the roles he accepted, prioritizing less demanding projects that allowed him to maintain a balanced lifestyle. Despite being less active in the entertainment industry, his legacy remains strong, and he continues to be deeply respected and admired by fans worldwide. The affection audiences have for him is evident in the enduring popularity of his work, particularly Mr. Bean and Blackadder, which continue to captivate new generations. While he has chosen to step away from the spotlight, his contributions to comedy remain timeless, and his influence on the industry is undeniable.